Hello guys, in this video we are going to see command line arguments in Java. Command line arguments in Java. So what is the meaning of command line arguments? Is nothing but arguments which we provide to the program, let us suppose Java program, using command prompt. Then it is called as command line arguments in Java. So the arguments which are provided to the Java program using command line, or you can say command prompt, then it is called as command line arguments in Java. First we will see how to use these command line arguments in Java. Then we will see what is the application of command line arguments. Okay, so there is suppose a class test, and then in the class test we have public static void main function is there, and I have string args, that is nothing but the array of the string, and this is our command line arguments. And now in this what we are going to do, we are going to declare one int variable I equal to 0, and then I am going to give one for loop over there, I less than args dot length less than I plus plus. Okay. Now what is the meaning of args dot length? It is going to return how many strings are there in args. Why? Because args is the array of string, and this length variable is going to give the size of the array. So this args is the array of the string, and how many strings are there in the args, that will be written by length. Okay. Now in this for loop we are going to print system.out.println args of I. So I am going to print all the string they are present in args. So this is our program. Now I am going to compile this program using Java C. So using Java C command, in the command prompt you are going to compile this program test.java. Obviously this program will be stored as test.java because the name of the class itself is test. Okay, now for execution of this program I have to use Java command. Okay, and then I have to give the name of the class, that is nothing but test, and after that I will provide 3 strings over there. Okay, you may provide 1 or 2 or more number of strings over there. I am going to provide 3 strings over there. Naam, let us suppose Mukesh and Suresh. So these are the 3 strings I have provided as a command line argument. Now this is called as a command line argument, and this argument will be stored in this string array. Okay, so args of 0 will be equal to Ram, and because we have given the first value as the Ram. So what is the second value? Second value is Mukesh. So args of 1, that will be Mukesh. Okay, and args of 2 will be Suresh. Args of 2 will be equal to Suresh. Now as this args is an array of the string, that's why each element of this array is nothing but itself is a string. Okay, now what I have done here is I is equal to 0. So initially the I equal to 0, then we have checked whether the I is less than args dot length or not. Now what will be the value of this variable? The value of this variable will be equal to the number of strings this args has. Right? Args has 3 strings, that's why the value of length is nothing but 3. Now the value of I is 0. So 0 less than 3, condition is true. So it will come inside the for loop. So what it is going to print? It is going to print args of 0. Args of 0 it is going to be printed on the screen. Okay. And after that I plus plus is going to be executed. So it will become 1. 1, again the args dot length will be equal to 3. The value of I is right now 1. 1 less than 3, the condition is true. It will come inside. It will again print the args of 1 because the value of I right now is 1. So it is going to print args of 1, that is nothing but Mukesh. So Mukesh will be printed. And after that, again the I plus plus will be executed. So it will become 2. Now 2 is less than 3, correct. 2 is less than 3, the condition is for true. It will come inside the for loop. System.out.println args of I. Okay, right now the value of I is 2, so the third string, that is args of 2, will be printed, and that is nothing but Suresh. Okay, so it will again come over here, it will increment I by 1, so it will become 3. Now the value of I is 3, so 3 less than 3 is false. So that's why the for loop will end over here. And after for loop, there are no instructions in the program, that's why this program will be over, and that is our output. Now, in this program, we have seen how to use command and argument. Now we will see what are the applications of using command and arguments. Let us suppose I have one program, class paste, okay, and in this program, what I am going to do, I am having one public static void main, and there is a string args, okay, and here let us suppose I am having one integer variable, that is n equal to 8, and I am just printing its system.out.println its square. So the square of, okay, plus n plus is, okay, plus n into n. So that is my program. So what will be the output of this program? The output of the program will be the square of, output I am going to write over here, let us suppose. So it will print the square of 8, right? The value of, here the value of n will be printed, right? Because it is not written in double quotes. So it will be considered as a variable and its value will be printed. So the value of n here is 8, so it will print 8. Plus is will be printed, is will be printed as it is because it is in the double quote, it is considered as a string, and then n into n will be printed. So what is the value of n? 8. 8 into 8, that is 64. So the 64 will be printed. So the output will be the square of the 8 is 64. So whenever you run this program, always the output of this program will be the square of the 8 is 64. Now let us suppose I want to find the square of 10 using this program. So what you have to do, you have to just go back to this program and change the value of n to 10. So that it will print the square of 10 is 100. Again, if you want to find square of any other number, then again you have to change n to equal to that number, right? Why it is happening? Because the value of n in this main is hard coded. Okay. So to customize this value of n, what we are going to do? We are going to use this command line argument. So what I will do, instead of n is equal to 10, what I will do, I am going to write, I will write integer dot parse int, okay, and inside this I am going to give args of 0. Okay, so what this function is going to do, it is just going to convert this string into the number, because string is nothing but the array of this. So this args is nothing but the array of the string. So we want to find out the square of the number. Okay, so first you need to convert this string into the number. So with the help of this function, that is integer dot parse int, you are going to find out this number, and you are going to convert string into the number, and then you will find out the square of that number. So when you will give Java test 15, so it will convert this first, it will be passed as a string to args 0. Okay, so args will contain this as a string 15, and this integer dot parse int is going to convert it to the number, that is nothing but 15, and this 15 will be given to n, and the square of the 15, that is 225, will be found out. Now again, if you want to find out the square of suppose 20, so you just need to change this value. You don't need to go and change the value of n. You just need to pass this 20 over there as a command line argument. So you will get the output of the square of this 20. Okay, so to customize the behavior of the main function, we can use command line argument. Earlier it was the value of n was hard coded. So the behavior of the main function was hard coded. And for getting the square of different numbers, you have to change the value of n again and again. To avoid this, what we can use command and argument to make this for a main function customizable. Okay, so that is our application of command and arguments. Another application of this command and argument could be, suppose you have written a program that is again test, suppose class test, okay, and inside this, if you return the main function, and inside this main function you have read two files, a.txt and b.txt, and you have merged these two files to file c.txt. So if you want to merge, so inside this main function you have written a code so that you can read these two files and merge into the third file, that is c.txt. Okay, now let us suppose when you execute this program, it will read these two files a and b and merge that file into the c. But suppose instead of abc you want to merge xyz file. Okay, so you want to merge x and y and you want to store that merged content into the z file. So again, what you need to do, you have to come here and change this value of a to x, b to y, and z to c to z. So again, it is hard-coded program. To make it customizable, what you can do, you can just write args of 0 over here, okay, and args of 1 over here, and args of 2 over here. Instead of writing this hard-coded value, instead of giving the hard-coded value, you can write args of 0, args of 1, and args of 2. So if you give xyz, then what will this program will do? This args will be equal to x, args of 1 will be y, and args of 2 will be z. Okay, so it is going to read these two files and merge it into the z. If you give, I don't know, let us suppose m and o, so it is going to read m file, it is going to read n file, and it is going to merge these two content, and it is going to store that content into a file. So in this way, to customize the behavior of the main function, you can use command line argument.